Okay, here we go with course intro video part 2. I'll take it from here. Excuse me. Report of concerns. If you have an academic concern, right, with the instructor of the class, this or any class, the first person you talk to is the teacher of the class. Okay? If you don't get satisfaction at that level, your next step is to contact the department chairman, or if it's the program director. Dr. Scott Turnavieski is the chairman of the Social Sciences Department. And then talk it over with Dr. T, as we call him, and he will determine the next course of action. If it's not satisfactory to you at that level, you go on to the dean or the academic vice president. You're climbing the ladder here. All non-academic concerns should go through student services. Okay? Don't do what kind of almost became an urban legend some years ago. There's a student who had a problem with an instructor. The instructor had no idea that there was a problem until the student and her dad's lawyer just walked into the president's office, president of the college, straight to the top. That's not how we do it. Okay? I don't know how receptive the president would be to that. I don't know. New president, we don't know him yet. Okay, now, assignments and grades. Now we get to the nitty-gritty dirt, all right? The grade formula. In college, you get a letter grade. In public school, you got a numerical average. But the letter grade in college is based on your numerical average. So we follow the way it works here. If you get an average of 90 or better, you will make an A in this class. And if you do that, hey, that's something to hang on the wall. Not that many people pull that one off. If it's an average between 80 and 89, that's a B. 70 and 79 gets you a C. And that's probably the lowest thing you can make in public school anymore. 60 to 69 will get you a little grade called a D. It's passing as far as Weatherford College is concerned, but not necessarily a good idea to try to transfer the credit. If you make an average of 59 or below, you will make an F. It's kind of like a state law now that nobody flunks anything in public school, which makes my head explode. That's not going to work. But in college, you can make an F. You can also get a 0 on an assignment that you don't submit. No effort, no grade. Zeros, they average in. They're ugly. In my class, everything averages in. Okay, if you're a dual credit student, I'll report your letter grade for college purposes and your numerical average for the high school purposes. They can do with it what they like. Okay, your semester average will be based on several components. The average of the... Okay, let's see if I'm getting this right. Average of the chapter quizzes, and I may have changed this. I'm not sure I remember correctly. The average of the chapter quizzes will be 20% of the final average. There'll be 3 unit exams. I call them major exams. The average of those 3 will be 30% of the course grade. There's a 3-point writing assignment. Actually, I think it's 4-point writing assignment that's broken into 2 components. And as we'll see, that's 25% of the average. The final exam all by itself is 25%. That adds up to 100 every time I do the math. Okay? You should note, and I put this on all caps in my document here, in this class, no assignments are optional and no grades will be dropped. I don't drop grades. There are no optional assignments. If you opt out, you get a 0. It stinks things up pretty bad. Now, you have fairly open time limits for this. It took me a while to graduate from the old paradigm to the new, but chapter quiz, an exam, anything like that is going to be open for 4 days. I first started out doing it the old way where it would be open like 1 day. Before that, you had to be in class to take it. But let's say the chapter 1 quiz will be due not this week but the next, and that quiz will be open or if you're in 1302, the Chapter 18 quiz. It will be open for you to take at 1 minute past midnight on Monday morning, the 30th of August. It will close at 1 minute before midnight the next Thursday. So Chapter 1 or 18 quiz, depending on which course you're in, you'll have from 12:01 a.m. on Monday to 11:59 p.m. on Thursday. The reason for the 1 minute thing there is that there could be confusion about what 12 means. Is 12 noon or is it midnight? If you can look outside, you can tell. But putting it into a document or something, see, 12 midnight is, I think, technically 12 p.m. But different people might have different ideas. 12 noon, oddly enough, little known fact, is not a.m. or p.m. That 1 minute is 12 m. Why am I telling you this? A.m. stands for ante-meridian, before the middle. P.m. stands for post-meridian, after the middle, and M is the meridian. So for 1 minute, you're not either before or after, you're at the meridian. Forget it, okay? Or, handy information. Same for exams. Now, for assignments that are handed in via turnitin.com, that kind of thing, I usually run those for an entire week, from Monday morning through Sunday night. Okay? So there we go on that. So get these done. You got 96 hours minus 2 minutes. Get it done. Now, if something comes up and you got a problem, the way things are now, I'm quite tolerant on extending people's deadlines if they need me to. So don't abuse that, but email me and ask me. Okay, now about the assignments. We'll start with the chapter quiz. Chapter quizzes, if you're in 1301, you are assigned to read chapters 1 through 17 of the textbook. If you're in 1302, you'll be reading chapters 18 through 32 of the textbook. So 17 chapters in 1301, 15 in 1302. Over each chapter, there will be a 10-question multiple choice quiz. It'll be 3-option multiple choice, A, B, or C. Now, these are to be taken online. If you don't get any answers right at all, I'll still put you down a grade of 10 to show that you attempted it. All right? Now, they're taking online. The questions that you see will be randomized, both the choice of questions and the order in which you see them and the order of the options. Be randomized by Canvas from a test bank of, on average, about 20 questions. So there's going to be anywhere from 18 to 22 or 23 possible questions on each chapter quiz. The software will show you 10 of them. Okay? And that your grade will be the number of correct answers times 10. All right? And I provide study questions, chapter study questions. There's a module above, just below the course introduction module, and it has a set of study questions for each chapter. These should be seen as chapter outlines in question form, and they're meant to help you sharpen your preparation for the chapter quiz. All right? They're not a hand-in assignment. The chapter study questions are not a hand-in assignment. I don't need to see them. We'll find out soon enough if you got that done. Okay. Once you begin a chapter quiz, you will have a time limit of 10 minutes. And once you start, you have to finish. You can't just start and take a few and then go back and come back and have the rest of the 10 minutes. It will not work that way. So make sure you have minimum distractions, extraneous noise, that kind of stuff, people looking over your shoulder. You're taking a quiz for credit. Okay. There are two ways to look at a chapter quiz grade: the micro and the macro. The micro is that a single chapter quiz grade doesn't count very much. It's in 1301, it's 1/17 of 1/5. In 1302, it's 1/15 of 1/5. So in 1301, a single chapter quiz is 1/85th of your final average. 1302, it's 1/75th of your final average. That's the micro. Okay? The macro is that the average of the chapter quizzes counts 4/5 as much as the final exam counts. So keep that in mind. They do add up. Okay, next assignment. Major exams, I might also call them unit exams. These are over major lecture units. There's going to be the colonial era, which before the Revolution and before the Revolutionary period, including pre-Columbian America. There's going to be the Revolutionary era. There's going to be what we call the early national period, from say after the end of the War of 1812 down to the 1840s, and then you'll have the Civil War and Reconstruction era. That one, Unit 4, goes straight to the final. There's not a unit exam on it. But each unit exam will consist of 2 essay questions, of which you will answer your choice of 1. You'll have a choice of 2 questions. You're going to answer 1 of them. And it's going to have a value of 50 points. It's going to be half the test. So don't try answering both of them. I will only read the first one. Don't ask me to read two essays. What I'm looking for is an essay that would reliably inform someone who read it. Let's say it's exam 2. You are offered and choose a question about British special problems, the difficulties they had to work around or get past in order to fight the Revolutionary War. Effectively, they didn't manage it. What were their problems? Somebody reads the question and reads their answer. They don't know anything about that. Are you able to give them accurate information? To do that, you need to be able to write clearly and concisely and be in command of your information. That's an actual possible question on exam 2. Okay, so it's not all or nothing. It's worth 50 points. If you get 45 or more, you made an A on the question. 40 to 44 is like a B. 35, 39 is a C. Below 35 is a different deal. Okay? Maybe this is gruesome. I discovered some I'll tell you what, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Give me an answer. And by the way, no attempt, no points. If you do not attempt an essay question at all, then your maximum grade on that exam would be 50. Okay? All right. The essay questions are broad-based but not open-ended. They're drawn from major unit topics. And I provide you, under exam study materials, with what I call like an exam 1 or 2 or 3 essay prep document, which leads you to major topics that you need to know about. No, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to narrow it down. Those are the ones you'll need to know about. You don't know which 2 questions you're going to get. Okay. Now, you're going to have 1 hour to finish an exam. The other part of it is a 25-question multiple choice section worth the other 50 points. It'd be very easy just to call it each correct answer is 2 points. If I did that, I'd be sinking some small craft, so to speak. So each one of these, I apply a formula to your raw score. I apply a simple little formula to your raw score to get how many points that you're going to get on the multiple choice section. All I'm going to tell you about it is that you're really happy about it. You're really happy about it. Now, when you go to taking a major exam, it's going to say on there, not for grade. That's because if it were for a grade, then the computer would, in effect, grade the test. And I still have to grade your essay question and apply the formula. So the grade that you see in a column like Exam 1 GB gradebook, that's the one that's going to count. So don't panic and jump overboard if it doesn't look that pretty right at first. Because Canvas thinks it's a 125-point exam, and it's not. Okay, let me see where we are here. Okay, I'm going to come back and tell you about the writing project.